Mr. Hugh, Michael, did you change that underwear yet? No, of course not, Mr. Hugh. He's got one pair, and it's not Commando Day today. Happens once a month when his mummy washes his smalls for him, and they're very small. I'm joking, Michael. I'm joking. He's fat. Again, I'm playing. I love Michael. He knows that. I like it, Mr. Lee. Not ribbing on Michael. It's just, I can't help it. I watch too many diss battles in my time. It's become rooted in my psyche. But how you're doing? What sort of week you having? We can talk about whatever you want to, honestly. I've got a few things I'd like to get into. I'd like to get deep into self-actualization, free will, and its connection to the pathology of hatred, actually. A conversation or a sort of subject matter that I got deep into on Agent Orange Baby's live stream from about a week ago. Anyone who's interested in what I got into in depth, I did a community post advertising it, so just skip forward a bit, find me nattering on about some deep shit, and if you're into it, you're into it. What you say, Michael Hayward? I will say Mike Wheeler's mom is a smoker. Yes, she fucking is, especially in season 3, is it? My God. Trying to catch Billy's eye. What's Billy's surname? I can't remember. Anyway, all the sort of 80s gym gear, fucking hot. Sorry, got to drop. Oh, David Bruce, I love you, but fair enough. Unless you mean the music. Damn it, David Bruce. Damn it. Mr. Lee 3PO, I have finished watching Stranger Things. I'm watching The Leftovers all over again. That's what I'm doing as well, unless that's its own series, Mr. Lee. Either The Leftovers is a series, or you mean all of the previous ones like I am. Yeah, couldn't help myself. Oops, gotta bounce. All the best. Shit. Well, I have to assume that the Stone Philosopher's live. That's what I have to assume. Let me go and check that out, actually. Loyalty. I understand it. Boo-hoo. Let's see. Well, it's a late one. Look, I appreciate it as a late one, but we'll have fun. So, yeah, man. Got into a really good conversation on Agent Orange Baby's channel all about the delusion that we all seem to sort of have as a starting point. And I'm sure we develop this sort of sense of ourselves as a means to navigate in or as taking ourselves to be the body in this sort of physical space early on in our childhood. But either way, the sense that we have agency or free will per se, the complex of that, the sort of conviction in that we make our own decisions, and that decisions do not have causes, essentially, is wrong, is completely wrong. And I think I can demonstrate that with one sort of notion, if I float this. Most people conceive that they decide most of the things in their life, you know what I mean? And they take full credit and responsibility for them. Now, it seems to me that there is the appearance of decisions being made, but every thought has a cause, doesn't it? And so if every thought has a cause, then whatever your idea was in, let's say, choosing one option over another, because I don't believe in free will, I believe in limited will at best, and even I think that that's going a bit too far. I think everything is actually deterministic. I think we're far more like an algorithm or an event unfolding, right? And I believe, or I've seen, I should say, that the ego is rooted in such a notion. In fact, not only the ego, but hatred is one of the side effects of that conviction, and most people don't appreciate that. And feeling disconnected from source as well. All of it, the misperception that you are this entity with agency making all your decisions, right, is a completely wrong way to conceive of, the human condition anyway. And it was only through understanding this sort of stuff that I was able to get over depression, right? The whole of the clinical side, or the clinical approach to depression in the modern day, without, or I should say, decoupled from any sort of spiritual consideration or shift in perspective, major shift in perspective, will not get you there. It will not get you there, because I've tried it all, man. I've tried behavioral cognitive therapy, or cognitive behavioral therapy, I think it is, CBT, Gestalt, all of it, man. I tried it all. It didn't do it. It took that shift in perception for me, and I know we all go through this sort of stuff: anger, hate, depression, and it feels horrible, doesn't it? It's a shitty feeling. So I was card going as well. I didn't see Stone Philosophers live, but maybe, I'm sure they hey, one day I will be people's first option, I promise. Are you all sleeping in the same bed? Damn it, they must have got into the girls' dorms, everybody. Actually, let me go. Mr. Hugh, free will has been taken away from us all on Mother World. Well, yeah, well, it's interesting that people conceive of Gaia, or the sort of physical, as female, isn't it? Then what would the masculine principle be? The spirit? The spiritual? Formless? Source? Maybe. Reality check. Well, you know what I mean. Point fire. It's good to see you, sir. Yeah. Well, why am I laying this out? Because I'm starting to realise that, let's say, those of us that are inclined towards trying to find out our true predicament, or understand a bit about, I don't know, the New World Order, the agenda, all that sort of stuff, world government, everything, right? It's, by the way, what's the level of the, what's the audio like, everyone? Is the music too loud? Is the music okay? You tell me. You tell me. How's it sounding? Is it coming through in both ears? Someone let me know. Thank you. Look, you can be the sort of world's biggest truther, right? But shit you not, man. If you're making no progress in the realm of self-actualization, then what truth have you ascertained? Like, what have you really done? You see what I mean? I'm at the point where, if everyone interested in truth proper don't start focusing on their own shortcomings and trying to prioritize enlightenment, and by enlightenment I mean seeking the truth in themselves. You do know you should put truth atop your paradigm, right? Because when you do that, self-honesty abounds, and then you have the key to unlock all of the mysteries of the self, right? Oh, it's fine. Thank you, Mr. Lee. I do appreciate it. So that's what we need to be doing. Look, man, don't get drawn out into all sorts of worldly mysteries or whatever. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, we've got to fucking fight the battles we've got to fight. But if we do not ground in, if this is not the priority, right? Life is short, and whatever you truly are, you must discover it, really. Because actually you won't be happy or empowered or powerful enough to fight such, let's call it evil, right? Let's call it evil. Mr. Hugh, cool sounds beat. You are welcome, Mr. Hugh. Do you want to get into the tunes, Mr. Who? Yeah, in the club with the high speed. Woohoo! Why not? Love that. Tribal. By the way, I did go out the other night and I got to dancing, man. It was fucking funny. When I said I would, I actually did. And I boogied like a motherfucker. It was awesome. It's fucking awesome. Hello, Sophia. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Mr. Lee 3PO, I let things happen in their natural order. Yeah, well, I think letting things happen, or letting you happen, actually, letting you happen, letting you unfold as it will, in good faith, hoping that you're oriented in the right direction, you know, hoping that you unfold in a way that's beneficial to others, handing yourself back, and yeah, just having faith that you, even though you can't see it yet, that you've handed yourself back and you are unfolding in a beneficial way. You know, that is I think the best we can do. But when you do that, brother, you're no longer yours. You know, someone else is in charge. And the effects are awesome. I've seen it. I've definitely seen it. Point Fire, you need a Japanese girlfriend, Hyveless. They are very forgiving and traditional, Point Fire, and desperate, because aren't all the Japanese, well, aren't the more Japanese women than Japanese men? Is that right? I can't remember what the deal is. I know there's a problem in Japan to do with the sort of dating world or something. I know a lot of guys just have become incels in Japan, and I think they're more interested in robot wives than the real deal for some reason. You know, if it's if one is added onto me, Point Fire, and it's the right way to go, then maybe. Although I might start thinking I'm John Lennon then, which, you know, I've only just got over. So anyway, as I was saying, Mr. Lee 3PO, you started shagging again then? Of course, Mr. Lee 3PO. I am well and truly having fun. That's all you need to know. Having lots of fun. Mr. Hugh, spread them seeds, B. The earth loves it. Well, at least a few people have been loving it, and I'm one of them. Not enough men in Japan, that's the one, I thought so. And too many robot whammins. Yes, exactly. Sumo women. Huh. Well, sumo women whammins too, Michael. You know, you got to take one for the team every now and again. In fact, well, you ever hear my theory about if all the hot chicks just took one for the team and hooked up with all the sort of incel dudes, there'd be less, well, I could say mass shootings there, but I don't really believe that that's what most of them are. I think most of them are probably psyops of some sort, and it's all to do with politics around gun control, ultimately, right? We're talking sleeper cells. That's my theory. In fact, I can corroborate that with multiple sources. If any of you are aware of Darren Brown, which I know Mr. Lee 3PO will be, he did an awesome episode on sleeper cells and assassinations, or hypnotism, and I can't remember what it was called. It was called something like, I just can't remember, but just search the terms, watch it, and you'll see that it's absolutely doable. Reminiscent of the JFK thing, you know what I mean? Who went down for that, etc., or the Mark Chapman deal. Right, all about control. Which bit, Sophia? What am I missing? Elaborate, please. Elaborate. Unless you mean the sort of personal complex of control, something to do with that. Unpack that. Yes, Darren Brown. Yeah, well, if you watch that and you start to question, you know, how many insane lunatics really go on these sorts of rampages, really? You know what I mean? Spontaneously. I'm sure there are a few copycats that do it, but not on the scale that we see. You know what I mean? I believe there's a whole program behind that. I don't doubt, really. I do believe that. Point Fire, but I don't know. Allegedly. Just because I have to say that. Point Fire, let's go on a bender, Hyveless. Bangkok quality sleaze. We can get loaded and play Guess the Gender. Damn it. In fact, I saw your comment from the other day where you were saying that. It's when I took a break, you said Hyveless is going down to I can't remember what you said, mate, but it's funny as fuck. Let's do it, mate. Let's do it. I'll tell you what, you go first. I'll pick the most effeminate looking geezer. Alright? so it won't feel so wrong, Point Fire. Is that okay? It's not gay if he's in a dress. Michael told me, no, he didn't. Someone told me that. False flag and all. Yeah, well, exactly. Lol, Point Fire. LOP, can I say spoilers here? No. No, LOP, you cannot. I've seen it all. Nice to see you, bro. It's awesome, though. It's fucking awesome. Anyone who hasn't embarked on it yet, you ought to get to season 4. And I think my brother told me the other day there's only going to be 5 seasons, which is disappointing in one sense, but I think I'd rather something finishes at its peak, you know what I mean? Rather than dragging that sort of stuff out. I'd rather quality overall than anything else. Unlike the fucking Matrix, which should have stayed a trilogy, I'm still totally gutted that they made that piece of shit 4th one, which I will not count as legitimate because, I don't know, it was only made by one of the brothers, which I can't remember their name now, Wachowski brothers, and after full transition. So you know what I'm saying. Point Fire, I'm old. I take it as a compliment. What, when you're getting butt humped by a chick in Bangkok? Well, good then, Point Fire, good. Mr. Lee has travelled. What, to there? Interesting. Okay, I'll just say, we know people talk about stereotypes and stuff. Well, you can't help it, can you? If someone tells you they're going to Bangkok, you know what they're up to. I'm just saying. Eddie Munson rocked. Yeah. Eddie Munson, was that the guy in the picture? Is that his actual name? It was, wasn't it? Pretty sure. Yeah, he was awesome. And no spoilers. Sorry, I could have told you something there. But yeah, he was cool. They sort of needed a vibrant personality to replace Billy in a way, didn't they? And he was sort of similarly cast, I think. And Kate Bush, great song, yes, yeah, indeed. Careful, everybody, no spoilers, but yes, indeed. And Kate Bush is amazing. Matrix rubbish. I only got halfway through. Well, yeah, it's not worth it, mate, at all. It's a piece of shit, and I regret them ever making it. I really, really do. It is, created by the Duffer Brothers. That's right, yeah. Stranger Things, that is. Sophia Brothers, who are now sisters. I know, yeah. What the fuck? I can understand one person doing it, but why 2 of them? I actually got into a really interesting conversation with Michael earlier about the one theory that floats around, that in Hollywood circles there might be some sort of drug or something, adrenochrome, that might have the effect of making you somewhat androgynous or more feminine, right? If taken over a course of time. And so, hence explains why you've got some people transitioning. You know what I'm saying? It's one theory. It's an interesting one. I don't know. The metalhead guy, Eddie Munson, yeah, he rocked. He was cool. Yes, guy in your thumbnail, exactly. I should check the names of the guys in my thumbnail first before doing the thumbnail, right? Well, it was all very spontaneous, like I said. The new Dune film, Rubbish 2, okay. I don't know if I ever watched the original Dune film, actually. Most new films are rubbish, lol. They are, actually, yeah, and rely heavily on special effects and stuff. I actually thought, did any of you guys have this idea? Because he sort of sounds similar. In fact, Michael told me that Hopper, the actor that played Hopper, was in Hellboy 2. Played Hellboy in Hellboy 2. I didn't know that shit. I need to look that up. But either way, I thought the actor that plays Hopper would make an awesome Indiana Jones. And I know that's obvious because he sounds similar to him. But, and looks similar. But I just think he would. And one that's a bit more true to the comic books, because the original Indiana Jones comic books, he was fucking a beefcake, you know what I mean? Massive dude. And of course, Stranger Things, Spielberg, etc. I'd like to see the actor that played Hopper do a new set of Indiana Jones films. I think that would be fucking awesome. Anyway, LP, yeah, like Top Gun. Actually, I watched what's his name? What's the actor in Top Gun called again? That, bollocks. Why can't I think of him? But anyway, I watched Night and Day. You know that film? Cameron Diaz and the dude, the short action dude. I watched that film again the other day, and it was fun. This new movie, Don't Look Up, had a great cast. Okay, DiCaprio too, but it was so boring. Oh, okay. Well, I saw that advertised. I'll skip that one then, mate. Yeah. Ooh, there's a film called The Underworld, I think, or something. Can anyone give me a review on that? I nearly went for it the other day. Can someone tell me about that one? I think it's called The Underworld or something like that. Let me know if it's worth a punt. I think not sure about that. About what? Yeah, Jim Hopper is awesome. He is. Hiveless Jim Hopper. Hellboy was not good either. Yeah. I've seen it in bits. I sort of walked in late and sort of watched parts of it. It seemed all right in a way, but yeah. Tom fucking Cruise. Thank you, LOP. What the... Yeah, well, that was a good... Oh, and actually watched Jack Reacher again the other day. I just had a bit of time on my hands, fam. Just been watching some shit. I don't have a TV. I haven't watched anything on Netflix for time. I haven't bothered with it, you know what I mean? Because it's the home of... all the dodgy, weird shit. But either way, yeah, it's done the trick. Now I'm addicted. Anyway, Michael Haywood. Mr. Lee, you didn't like the first Hellboy? Right, let's see what he says. The Underworld is rubbish. Okay, shit. Kate Blanchett is sexy, though. But is it worth looking at her for 2 hours? And maybe it is. Fam. So yeah, I wanted to do a Babble Box soon. I will get around to doing a Babble Box very soon. But I just wanted to do a random one just cause. You know what I mean? Hey, these things can sometimes be a bit of a channeling, you know what I'm saying? When we all get together on a subject and just sort of surf some cool topics. So I thought we'd do it. You never know, man. You never know when you're going to hit on something awesome. And I'm a happy receptacle for all of your deepest musings. All right? So like I say, you guys are steering this a little bit. So if you want to get deep or pick me up on any of the stuff I was talking about earlier about hatred being connected to the complex of free will or sort of faulty conviction or belief in personal agency that you primarily identify with or as, right? Whilst sort of remaining oblivious to the causes of all of your decisions, because every decision has a cause, and if decisions have causes, if thoughts have causes, there isn't any decision being made. You are like an unfolding event, an equation that's already written that will unfold the way it will, but that's a good thing. You have to come around to thinking that's a good thing. Don't be so hypnotized or attached to the idea that I'm me, making decisions, fuck you, and I will judge every other motherfucker for all their shit decisions. Right there, that's where the complex of hate comes from. It's a delusion. That's just Shinga's free will. I watched Twilight Zone and The Outer Limits. Alright, I might give them a go. I know they're sort of very well known. They passed me by, and I may give them a go. Thank you, sir. I wear a tinfoil helmet on your pee-pee. Point fire. Well, that's not a good contraceptive. Try a rubber one. Just saying. Maybe that's why you have 16 children. Point fire. Isn't it? Hey, can I borrow a few of your concubines, though? Just saying. Please. Mr. Lee 3PO. Michael Hellboy original with Ron Perlman. Fantastic. Right. Yeah, and who was it? The guy from, Frasier. The brother from Frasier did the voice. or acted as the fish, scaly-looking dude, didn't he, in the first one? And then they had to get a replacement actor for the second one. Yeah, I thought he was much better as the scaly dude. Anyway, exactly my thought, Mr. Lee. Anyone watch Squid Games? Oh, yeah. It looks pretty dark, but yeah, it was one that I was kind of curious to see. I don't like just dark for dark's sake. I mean, that's why I like Stranger Things. It's got light in it. It's got humor. It's just metaphor. I need a bit of light in there. You know what I mean? I don't do just dark. But someone give me a review of Squid Games then. Abe Sapien came from a busted lizard condom. Sorry, I just had to. Oh yeah. Hiveless speed. What does that mean, Michael? What does it mean? I'm lost. LOP, I haven't even seen Hellboy. I watch more like TV series. I think you might like it, actually, LOP. Well, at least the first one, then, according to these people. These last year... Right. Hobbs watched Squid Games. Did it? All right, I'll ask Hobbs about it then. Mr. Hugh, well, Hiveless B, have to run. Hope you're well and stay well. Peace. Mr. Hugh, well, it was nice to see you again, bruh. Very nice to see you. Okay, Mr. Lee 3PO says Squid Game's fantastic. Well, I might just give it a punt based on your review then, mate. Why not? Yeah, Strange Things is really one of the best things. It is so much so that I had to watch it all back again when I finished the last installment. And Michael's part way through. In fact, Michael, how far did you get through so far into the last season? Michael was sort of 3 episodes into the last season a couple of hours ago. So let's see how far we got. Sophia, I feel we are guided by universe, spirit, ancestors, etc. Nice, exactly. Whatever you want to call the source. Well, they're all parts of the sort of unfolding algorithm, the ones and zeros that, as far as I could tell, spontaneously arose out of consciousness itself or something like that. And it's perfect. It's a perfect unfolding for the totality of what has to appear. For, of course, it is all mere appearance, isn't it? The only truth about anything that we experience is, or are, the qualities of the observer itself, which never moves, never changes. You see? So really nothing ever moves, because, of course, if the only appearances there are in the known universe can be are apprehended by virtue of the witness, then they too must be ultimately of the same qualities as the witness. That's a very deep, profound realization that everyone has to have. It's very Buddhist as well. It's very Buddhist sort of insight, that is, you know. The non-dual nature of mere appearance. Everything is one nature, the absolute, right? It's all an illusion. Form is an illusion. Everything that looks like it happens or changes or comes and goes, illusory. I promise you. You are the silent witness. That was a good film, by the way, wasn't it? Ooh. See, I might watch that, and I might also watch, what was the other Harrison Ford film that was awesome? The Fugitive. I wonder if that's on Netflix. Papa Craig, nice to see you, sir. You were on Mogs, weren't you, yesterday with Michael? Did you have a good conversation about fishing? I heard you did. Stoned Hayward, Mr. Hugh. Hi, Hiveless, hello. Papa Craig is indeed here, that's true. LOP says, my wife watched Squid Game and I glanced on the TV for like 20 seconds and I hated it, lol. Well, we'll see. One of the series that I tried to get into that Michael mentioned to me, although it's not like he was endorsing it, he just mentioned it to me once, was the Pentaverate. The Pentaverate with Michael Myers. couldn't get into it, man. Even though it's all based on sort of conspiracy theory stuff and all that, it's basically just Mike Myers doing a load of not very great character acting and pretending to be a shit ton of all of the characters in it, and it's almost making a mockery of the truth movement in a way, but then other times not. But I only got halfway through the first episode and I was like, this is fucking stupid, man. I just can't even get into it at all. Least of all because, of course, the Pentaverate's meant to be a good or virtuous secret society, which is quite the opposite deal to, you know, what we see with the captured Freemasons. Captured by the Illuminati, all documented. I told you before. Really. Doesn't mean there aren't benevolent people in there in the sort of lower orders that don't recognise that fact, but you've heard it all before, you know what I'm saying. LOP, damn man, it's like 5:30 a.m. I know. I usually go to bed at 6 a.m. because I wake up at 7 p.m. and all the shops are closed already. Lol, fucked up sleeping pattern. My sleeping pattern is a bit fucked up too, hence I'm doing a live stream at this stupid time. I sort of woke up in the early hours of the morning yesterday after sort of 3 hours sleep. Thought I'd stay up for the day, but you know when you flag in a few hours later, well, it was getting to sort of 7 a.m. Flag in, hit the sack, and then woke up at 5 p.m. today, would you believe? Crazy. So now I'm totally backwards, which is a fuck up. But look at me, I'm making the most of it. I'm doing a random live stream for your enjoyment. How nice am I? Welcome. I'm most welcome. Mr. Lee 3PO, hi Riz, have you started smoking again then? Yes, Mr. Lee, unfortunately I have. And you want to know the absolute truth? I have been for some time, but just didn't want to admit to it because, well, partly I didn't want to admit to myself that it was true yet. But it started Christmas. You want to know the truth? Christmas. I went out twice, had a cig with a drink, and then didn't stop, basically. After 1 3/4 of a year, or nearly 2 years not smoking, basically. After nearly 2 years of not smoking, I took it back up again, yeah. But I'm looking after my health. I'm still getting out there, rambles, running, weights. Well, not really weights, but like calisthenics sort of stuff. So I'm looking after myself in that sense. But the smoking has to go again. At least I know how to do it this time, though. LOP, The Fugitive with Harrison Ford. Yes, damn, I saw that a long time ago, but a good movie. It was very good. It was a childhood favourite of mine, yeah. Used to watch that and many others at my nan's house. Better Call Saul, fantastic too. Ooh, now there's one that I haven't actually given a go, but I am a big Breaking Bad fan. I think that's a good shout, actually, Mr. Lee. Yeah, thank you. I might give that a go. LOP, damn right, Better Call Saul, I am all caught up with already. Actually, LOP, what was that series you were telling me about, brother? Do you remember that one you were telling me about, the really strange one? You told me about that when I didn't have access to Netflix. Could you tell me the name of that again, dude? Do you remember you showed me a scene of like a bald, weird guy at a construction site? What the fuck was that called? Because I'd give that a go. Sophia, gotta go to Subway. Need food. I'll be back. All right, we'll see you in a bit then, Sophia. Good. Michael Hayward, Mr. Lee, the movie Nobody with Bob Odenkirk. Okay. Alright. Might give that a go too, Michael. Michael Hayward, yeah, I saw that. It was okay. Alright. Hurry back, Sophia. Indeed. Still doing keto? No, actually, Mr. Lee, let me tell you, I did. Well, I haven't done keto this year, but because of the sort of rambles I was doing to lose weight, but then on the other hand, doing upper body exercise and stuff, I didn't go for keto exactly, but it was a sort of mix or something. But anyway, I got the weight off, and I'm pretty slim right now. I should say, sorry, in terms of body fat, I'm doing well, actually. I'm slim in that way, not carrying much fat now. But for the last few weeks or so, and I've been sort of doing upper body stuff for like the whole half a year, I upped the protein because I suddenly realised. Well, Michael sort of put me wise to it. I've never taken it seriously before, which is why my gains have been shit. But basically, it's not like I've tried for a long time, no. As soon as I started upping the protein, mate, fucking hell. So I'm essentially on a sort of Atkins diet, but with a lot of, but not on purpose. It's just that I'm pretty much just eating high protein diet right now. But I'm seeing the results, mate. It's a low carb, high protein diet. But yeah, man, I'm getting well hard, Mr. Lee. Well hard, sunshine. Moby Dick with Gregory Peckerwood. You know, when you sort of start feeding the muscles right with right stuff, you start to notice yourself getting seriously stronger and stuff. So yeah. High Risk Beat, the Blacklist. Chessboard said he gave a horseshit cigarettes as a joke. Gave out horseshit cigarettes as a joke. Yeah, I think I heard that on, what was it, Michael and Brandy's stream or something, right? I heard something about an anal necklace, an anal necklace made out of a deer's hide or something the other day. Yeah, you have to watch Breaking Bad and then Better Call Saul. I've already watched the whole thing and it rocks. Fringe, High Risk Beat. Fringe at High Risk Beat, as in what? My actual fringe? Or are you talking? What are you saying? Fargo in it. Yeah, Fargo the series is good too. I know Fargo the movie was good, wasn't it? Which again, I wouldn't mind watching. That could be a good shout, Mr. Lee. That could absolutely be a good shout. In fact, yeah, I'm starting to remember a bunch of stuff I wouldn't mind watching again, actually. But it's all down to whether or not it's on. Anyway, LOP, I don't know if it's on Netflix though, or I don't know if it's on Netflix. I think you mean Fringe. I'm confused. I'm so confused, LOP. I'm just going to assume you're talking to someone else and that they understood you. Okay. And when you're doing a live again, mate, when are you going to jump on a live? Sphere equals hunting 12 inches? I'm so confused. Sounds sexy though, Sophia. Sounds. Point Fire said that too, Sophia. Mr. Lee, one of Fargo was the best. Season 2 was alright though. Is season 3 any good? Well, what would I say about Stranger Things? Season 1 was awesome. Season 2, I think there were some sketchy episodes, were there? Pretty sure season 3 was solid. And season 4 is just impeccable. I mean, that's my review. Mr. Lee, I had linguine last week. I thought you said lingerie for a second there, Mr. Lee. Linguine last week fucked me up for 3 days, man. What's in linguine? Did you not cook it properly, Mr. Lee? I thought you was a chef. What's going on? Taco night. Indeed, Point Fire. Yes, I have many tacos under my belt. Point Fire. It would make Daddy proud. Mr. Lee 3PO. Lot is what? Lot. It's okay. Season 1 Fargo with Billy Bob Good. Sorry, my reading age is about 10 at this time of the night. And also blurry eye, blurry left eyeball. Did you know that? Yes. I use my right eye to aim. LOP, yeah, Mr. Lee, 3PO, classic shit. Michael Hold the Mayo. Netflix, yes, and LOP says no. You were saying the show I shoved. Oh yeah. Oh, that's called Fringe. Yes. Thank you, LOP. Right, everybody. LOP showed me something that looked awesome called The Fringe, and yeah, thank you. That's what I need to watch. Michael, make a note of that. Might be worth a go. That's right, you showed me on Facebook with the bald guy, and you said you wanted to check it out, and I was responding to you, High Risk Beat. That show is called Fringe. Thank you, LOP. I am sort of Asperger's or something, so I do need direct instructions. You see what I mean? I take things literally. Ozark, fantastic too. Well, then it must be. how you doing, fam? You know what I'm going to go and do? I'm going to go and have a fag. That's what I'm going to go and do. It means cigarette. Yankees, cigarette. Calm down. Calm down, all the fundamentalist Christians. I'm fun, but I'm not that fun. You see what I mean? Although, you know, catch me in Point Fire on our Bangkok holiday from hell, and you never know. You never know. Ozark, I have to see. Okay, and Alaska Skywatcher, yo, just wanted to stop in and say hi. Bad connection tonight. Well, nice to see you, Alaska Skywatcher. Very nice to see you. Thank you for doing so. I like Jason Batman. What? Batman. Batman. Don't know who it is. Mr. Lee 3PO Taboo, you must watch on Netflix. Okay, alright. I will. I thought you were about to criticise my choice of holiday destinations there, Mr. Lee, but you didn't. LP, I like to use that for SIGs too, that word. Yes, well, I'm going to go and suck a fag. I mean, smoke one. I'm going to go and do it. Fam, enjoy the music. I'll be right back. I will. See you in a bit. Oh, look. Is everybody having a nice time? I hope so. Sup, fam? How you doing? What have I missed? Where did I get to? Michael, when you're doing another show with Brandy? Great question. And I hope Saturday night, Mr. Lee. Cool. Oh, I'm a little loud on the music, and I sorry for that. So, although I do love it. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing. I might leave the weekends clear for a bit. I'm having too much fun. So I was thinking midweek, and I was thinking a lot more random lives and things, just to get back in the swing of things. And what else? Yeah, I might change the day for Babblebox to a midweek. And Michael was floating the idea of the sort of times I used to do the Agony Art streams. Remember that? I'd imagine a Wednesday. I almost did a Babblebox earlier. I just didn't get round to it at that time. I had to run to the shops and it didn't work out. But I was sort of thinking anywhere from around 9 or 11, 9, 10 or 11 UK time. So probably 9 o'clock kickoff, which is, what's that for you guys? 4, so maybe, or maybe 11 o'clock kickoff or something like that, or 10, I don't know, on a Wednesday night. That's what I'm thinking for Babblebox from now on. We'll see. Yeah. So I hope to do one next week. We'll see what happens. Right. I'm just going to skip to the end. What are we saying? What are we talking about, everyone? So who we got here? Mr. Lee. We got LOP. Who else is here? Probably a few floaters. But yeah, what do you want to get into, man? I'm happy to get deep as a motherfucker about anything, as you always know. But where are you all on your quest for truth or self-knowledge or whatever you want to call it? Where are you at with that stuff? It's essential. You have to do it. There's not really a choice. And any sort of you see, any sort of I don't know, any sort of imagine better quest, or I don't know how to put it, like any idea that you could be doing something better than your time, than trying to get to the bottom of the riddle that is you, is, I don't know, a misapprehension. Because even for greedy people, actually, you cannot truly be happy unless you come back to your true nature, actually, which is always blissful and tranquil and serene. You are the nature of serenity itself. Did you know that, everybody? There's a bit of you that is perfect already. That's the real you. And everybody misses it. You got to become all about it, you know? You got to die to it, actually, is what you need to do. You know, I think that's what the Buddhists are talking about when they say you got to die before you die, kind of thing. Anyway, I don't. What are you saying, Point Fire? Premonitions of next lockdown. That's an interesting subject, isn't it? Well, don't know if it'll be a novel plague or if it'll be one based on the programming for this one, like a new strain. I imagine it'll be a smallpox thing, maybe. We'll see. What was the latest one that was going around? Wasn't it? Oh yeah, weren't they offering a sort of smallpox jab for some sort of illness that was coming out recently, a few months ago? Like I said, I've sort of kept my head out of it for a bit. But yeah, I would imagine you're talking jab passports, biometric IDs, full-on surveillance, including well, more government control, more authoritarianism. It's everything in Operation Lockstep. If you want to go and look at a game plan, you know the sort of world they want to bring about, and it is essentially the Chinese system on a global scale, you know. So my premonitions are more of the moving of the Overton window in that direction. We've set the precedent now for normies, or whatever, normal society, so-called. The brainwashed, the brain dead, the followers of fashion, the followers of the news. This precedent has been set that they'll just happy lemmings walking off the cliff because someone in a lab coat or in a newsroom told them to, basically. So more of the same fucking stuff. I'd imagine. I know that there's a lot of people out there that regret taking the previous intervention, though. So there's a lot of people waking up because they'll know someone who reacted badly to it, or they themselves did, etc. You know, so the people that are waking up to this thing can only grow unless they're dying, which actually, Mr. Lee, hi, Evelyn, are you talking to she who shall not be named, or are you ghosting each other? Well, I'll let that response speak for itself, Mr. Lee. Rainbow rash. Well, I know about rainbow kisses. Is that what you get if you do them? A rainbow rash? Probably. Hannibal season 1 and 2 and 3, fantastic. Ooh, then I might definitely give that a go. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee is wrestling to keep it on the talk about Netflix stuff and films and stuff, which I don't blame you, Mr. Lee, because at the end of the day, I'm kind of there, you know what I mean? Hence I called it Stranger Things. But also, I want to get deep. Come on, fam. Let's have a channeling, you know what I mean? Let's turn this into something fucking awesome. I'll get you started. But where are you all in your quest towards self-actualization? Have you realized you are not human yet? Have you? It's all an illusion, I promise. Come on, people. Give me something. Give me something. Okay, let's get deep. All right, let's get deep down, everybody. Come on, bring it. It's time to bring it. All right, let's put this to you. So, you heard me laying this out earlier that I think just chasing the sort of conventional truths to do with the New World Order and those sorts of conspiracy things, pretty much everyone who's going to wake up to that sort of stuff already has, or is in the process, and I'm not telling you to stop, you know, truth bombing these people, red pilling these people, for sure. But if in the truth oriented circles there is only an emphasis put there, we're missing a massive trick. You're never going to wake up to your true nature, and we will not become empowered to properly fight it. And not only that, you will not develop all the good qualities necessary to become a part of the front line, actually, and channel what needs to be channeled. Essentially, let's put it this way: if you only chase conventional truths and you take no interest in, let's put, here you go. Think about all of your fundamentalist Christian or Muslim or Jewish friends, right, that have bought into an ideology wherein they've essentially put, instead of the truth per se, or truth per se, at the top of their principles or paradigm, right? Instead of making truth king, they've put a dogmatic set of instructions as king. They are misled, right? Because ultimately, even in necessarily seeking truth, even within the sort of texts or dogmas or whatever, you have to be willing to question everything, actually, even your precious old dusty books that you put all your faith in, right? And the characters in them too. Mr. Lee Rubio, I'm still getting over the death of my dog, brother. It's been months now. That's right, I did become aware of that, Mr. Lee. I'm sorry, dude. Yeah, I tell you what, man, like everyone who dies that's been close to me and stuff, I keep them alive in my heart, my man. You know what I mean? I think that's the healthiest thing to do. I essentially talked to them. In fact, I had a dream about my father 2 nights ago. And I know they say in dream interpretation circles that your father represents your conscience, actually. And that could have been what it represented. But anyway, it was him looking vital, strong, and really looking out for me and being on like a mission or a quest to guide me or protect me or something like this. And yeah, it was like the hero aspect of my dad, and he was there in that capacity. And I tell you what, it is useful in this world if you had an honourable, good father, because even in his death, you want to make him proud, if you see what I mean. And I want to conduct myself in a way that he would be proud. And I honestly think that our love for our father, if you were able to have that, I understand, Mr. Lee, in your case or other people's cases, they haven't enjoyed that good fortune, and that would be confusing. So I do appreciate that. But even just a male role model that you admire can fill that void, you know, can become that person for you, you know what I mean? So it's essentially a father figure. You know what I mean? And by extension, like I say, I think to want to make, well, I say this loosely because people have trouble with this word, but God proud. And when I say that, I don't really mean a giant dude in the sky with a big beard. You know what I'm saying? Hello, Sophia. Glad to see you back. But yeah, we have to become masters of navigating the moral landscape. Did you know that? And especially as men, you know what I mean? Especially as men, because I don't know, I just see that the female psyche on average seems far more geared up to I don't know, navigating the physical, let's put it that way, right? And I seem to find that, and that's fine, it works for rearing kids and other factors, and drawing the eye of the male, or the interest of the male. But that is not to say that but I see that the male's primary domain that he ought to conquer is the moral or the sort of psychosocial, if you see what I'm saying. I really do. And least of all because if he doesn't, then the world goes to hell, and the family goes to hell. So I do believe that the male ought to make it his quest to become really grounded in something true and proper. You see what I mean? And sort himself out. And if he does so, he can guide his entire family towards that same place. Now, I'm not saying that a lone female would not be capable of achieving that, but I'm talking more like a sort of wider society, or in general terms, if you see what I mean. You know, or in terms of sort of order for the family unit or something. Real friends don't let friends trust the government. That's right. Give him a slap. What are you doing, Mom? It's you can't trust them. They're all a bunch of liars and wankers. Miss Lee 3PO, my brother is marrying the Russian Orthodox lady he met on Facebook, Fakebook, 4 months ago. All our family suspicious. Yeah, well, stereotypes persist, Mr. Lee. Stereotypes persist. But hopefully she's not a Russian spy. That's all I'll say, Mr. Lee 3PO. And is she attractive? Because stereotypes persist. I hope they're happy, mate. I hope they're very happy together. Papa Craig, I have her coffin on the mantelpiece. I put wildflowers on it every day. I missed that. Okay. Oh right, I see what you're saying. Yeah, well, I've got my cat bowls still. I love my cats, Spike and Sparky. Absolutely fucking love them to bits. And the male Spike died first, and I had to be a fucking warrior and a trooper and see him through that process. And even though I always thought that I would not, you know, you know, right, aid his death. I always thought that was not the way to go. But actually, it was far more like a wounded soldier on the battlefield, and something else took over. I think love and compassion took over, and I fucking saw him through that process with as much ease as I could, and I had to become egoless to do that. I had to have none of my own concerns whilst I was going through the motions just for him. I'm telling you, man, I had to put all my own thoughts aside and concerns and upset, and I just wanted to be a loving fucking rock for that little boy. It was so sweet. You know, when I used to go out for cigarettes, he used to sit by my side and look up at me, and it was the most beautiful cat in the world. I remember once I came back from a night out, actually with Vince, right, I'll tell you this, I came back from a night out with Vince, and it's not like we went out often or anything, but I think, and I'm talking years ago now, like a few years ago, probably like 2016 or something. But anyway, I remember I sort of got drunk, snogged a bunch of chicks in Solihull. Anyway, got back and I just felt really empty. I just felt really icky and empty. Like it was all a lot of fucking, you know, those sorts of nights where you're just like, nothing wholesome, just total fucking, you know, it just felt icky. And I lay on the kitchen floor there, drunk. I started crying, you know what I mean? I just started crying. And my cat, Spike, I remember it, man. He seemed to be quite selfish when it came to food. Like, he'd always budge his sister out of the way. They had both their own bowls, but he'd always get in there and eat all her food too if he had a chance to do it. But anyway, this one night, man, I just remember he came over to me while I was lying there, and started licking me. He started licking my face and stuff, and it's like he knew I was upset. It's crazy. And licking my hair, like really trying to comfort me. It was crazy, man. It's like, so yeah. And then the female cat, Sparky, as well. She got ill several months later, but me and her hung out. She was very lonely after he died. And yeah, man, just she'd come up to my bedroom and lie on my chest while I was just lying there, just lying on my chest with her face right up to my face, just purring. It was so cute, so cute. And she used to hang out with me while I was writing songs and playing guitar, just sitting there on my bed, and I loved that girl. And had to go through the same thing with her, man. Had to just become a fucking warrior and get her through that thing, and it was beautiful. And when they gave her the injection, she was up on the table. He was on my lap when they give it before, but she was up on the table, and I was sitting on a seat, and I was able to get my forehead on her forehead while they gave it, and she was just smiling, purring. She was ill, but she died smiling, right? When I looked at her, she was still smiling afterwards. She died smiling. I had a mad fucking experience. Like, about an hour and a half after that, or about an hour after that, I went outside in my garden and just meditated and imagined what had gone through her mind when she'd gone through that. And I went through this fucking really spiritual experience where I don't know, man, like weird, I can't explain it. It was almost like an ayahuasca trip. It was like I became her in her experience in becoming disembodied. Who the fuck knows? But brother, I've cried about them months and months later, yeah, and they're with me always, and I always love them and hope they're well, basically. Sorry, everyone, I'm just getting a bit deep on that shit, but it's true. Papa Craig, I love cats, but we never found one to replace Thomas. It's been 20 years. I know, you can't replace them, can you? But, you know, they've all got their own personalities. Point fire, the reality, he was so pissed he bought catnip, leaving the pub. Yeah. Well, I may or may not have got humped by a mountain lion in a car park on the way home. Maybe it was the smell of a horny mountain lion. Did you ever think of that, Point fire? Yes, you did. And I live in the UK, and it wasn't a mountain lion. Well, Well, something humped me, and I'd rather it be a mountain lion. There's something else. Point fire. Do you lick your balls in that meditative state? I no longer had balls, did I, in my disembodied cat-like simulation of the death process? No. It was like I entered the bardo state of just a sort of semi-clairvoyance, traveling the astral plane, brother, and you know, seeing houses and people and roads and trees, and it was crazy, man. I tell you what, it's crazy what the hypothalamus can conjure up. You know, you absolutely can have drug trips without being on drugs. It's all about belief, limiting beliefs. If you believe that you can't have an ayahuasca trip without ingesting it, then you won't. But if you believe that you can, oh, you will. It's sort of self-hypnosis, drug memory, I call it. Self-hypnosis, drug memory, but you can absolutely fucking do it. You've got a chemist in there. Did you know that? It can be accessed by the mind and belief. I promise. You know, it's awesome. Ooh. Tune. Yeah. You having a good time, fam? Alchemy, exactly, Sophia. Well, yeah. You know, like I say, society is a cult, and a lot of the programming is about disempowering you, not knowing you truly are the alchemist. Yes, you have, you know, but like I said, there has to be a shift in perception. You have to realize you're not you, the body, but it's a great instrument, a great tool. But for what? You know what I mean? But for what? You can use it to lie and cheat and steal and have some sort of mediocre semblance of success, like losers. Or you could become a fucking wizard like me. You could become a wizard like me. Mr. Lee 3PO, I knew a guy that would suck his own dick. I tried, but just couldn't do it. Well, we've all done the shameful walk up the wall, haven't we, Mr. Lee? I didn't, but my friend did. Apparently Michael Jackson could do that shit, or who was it? Pretty sure Michael Jackson, there was a rumor at least that he could. Sure Ron Jeremy can, even with his belly. He's well endowed. Papa Craig, as far as I know, as far as our neurological system goes, drugs only do what we can't do ourselves if we don't know how. And there's the caveat, if we don't know how. I think that a lot of drug experiences can be like a catalyst, or even those sorts of alkaloids or whatever you call substrates or molecules. Having had the trip, I think the hypothalamus can mimic them, actually. So yeah, I mean, I've never done DMT, but I had an experience recently. I always, whilst I'm going to bed, I always turn it into a meditation of letting go of any conceptions of myself as the body or the mind-body complex. And I pretty much do this on a daily basis. I've pretty much become mindful of the fact that I'm not any of that now, and I'm sort of grounded somewhere very still and very holy. You want to know the truth? You know what I mean? Divine, beautiful, serene. I'm serene all the fucking time, motherfuckers. And so are you, the real you. It's just you got to start identifying with that bit, not the noise. But anyway, or the projection. But anyway, before bed, yeah, I always sort of turn it into a meditation. And, you know, the other night, as I was going through the stages of the dissolution of the winds into the central channel, this is Buddhist cosmology, but anyway, as I was seeing some of the signs of that occurring, I remained mindful into this sort of DMT sleep state, and realized that what consciousness does, one of the things consciousness does, is create fractals. Or it's crazy. it's hard to know necessarily if it's only in conjunction with the sort of gross imagination or whatever that it does that. I don't know if anyone's following this, by the way. Someone will. But anyway, the point is fractals and consciousness, the exploration of possibilities and geometry, it seems to be what consciousness does. Like I say, unique ability to perceive, but itself cannot be seen. It's almost like getting an insight into the early formings of the universe or mind or the simulation or something. Hope there's someone out there that follows what the fuck I'm talking about. But like I say, I think we necessarily have to get that deep on things and start to study ourselves a lot more. Michael couldn't, but Bubbles could. Oh, right. How do you know that? Well, there you go then. Bubbles could do it. Bubbles managed it. He got a short torso and a massive schlong, apparently, according to Point Fire. Oi, Bubbles. Bubbles had lips like a goldfish marker. Funny. Wow. Imagine that you've never had a better one than your own. Imagine that. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I kind of get it. My girlfriend is Buddhist. All right. What tradition, Mr. Lee? What tradition? I'm interested. The one I'm coming from is like Mahayana, Kadampa, specifically. But yeah, I'm curious. Michael, I have a wooden plaque by the front door. It says, an old fisherman lives here with the catch of his life. Very sweet. Very sweet. You married a fish, Papa Craig. I'm pretty sure that's what it means. You married a fish. Catfishing gone right, Papa Craig. Catfishing gone right. Damper. Oh, right. Damper. Kadampa then. Kadampa. Well, the way you spell the one I was in, well, it must be the same one then, because I don't know Damper, but I know Kadampa. Damper. One of my names, you might not know this, is Kelsang, by the way. Yes. One of my names is Kelsang. I got deep in it, fam. So I'd say that as a yes then, Papa Craig, yes. Yeah, something like that. There you go. Well, we're into the same tradition. In fact, I moved that book. I don't know what I've done with that book, actually. It's weird that I moved it. Anyway, we'll have read some of the same material. It's a good one, Mr. Lee. Yeah, good for her. In fact, let me say this to you. So I was thinking, how could I start to expand and get out there and have a bit of fun, right? You know, you got these debate channels and things like that. I was thinking I could have all sorts of debates on free will. That'd be a great debate. Buddhist versus Christian. That'd be a great debate. I could absolutely hold my own in any of those things. Motherfucker, I'm going to get out there and start having awesome debates with people. Just be a bit of fun. You know what I mean? I've just happened to find myself in a bunch of debates randomly. And yeah, I'm being drawn to sort of do that stuff. Wake up and smell the fish. Damn. Well, I think there's a cream for that, Papa Craig. I'm pretty sure there's a cream for that. Tartar sauce, I think it is, actually. I think it's called tartar sauce. Anyway. You having a good time, fam? What do you want to talk about? We can get as deep or as shallow or as stupid or as funny as you want. What do you want to get into? Where do you want to steer it? You know those streams where you get to steer it and it's a true kind of joint effort? I'm open. I'm open for a happening. Ooh, by the way, if none of you are aware of my XXX equals ideal girlfriend stream from 7 months ago, or whatever, I think it's longer ago, but it says 7 months. You know that motherfucker's got approaching 400,000 views right now, and over 500 likes. That thing's blowing up like a motherfucker, I'm telling you. It's just me on my bed, really shit camera, talking a load of stuff about some interesting stuff, actually, like why sex sells, and yeah, it's really interesting. Yo, Florida Claimers Ted, what are you saying? Well, first of all, Michael Hayward says, Papa Craig, many are envious of what you and Nana have. Well, exactly, man. Very fortunate. Anyone who finds the love of their life, or at least one that they can genuinely get on with. Yeah. You got this. Good vibes. You got this. Good vibes. Yeah, well, these things, doing a stream can still be a bit nerve-wracking, to be honest. So, I don't know why. I've done enough of them by now. I think when you've had a stint of just doing them non-stop and being into it, then you get over it. Certainly at this point within a stream, I'm well and truly just into it and chilling. But I've got to saying to myself and affirming before a live stream, right? Ready for this? Nerves of steel. Nerves of steel. Really. And it seems to work. Just throwing it out there, Mr. Lee. For whenever you're ready. Nerves of fucking steel, brother. And I always say a little prayer that I hope it goes somewhere good and we have a good time and we get somewhere deep and it's useful to people and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Getting my mind right. Preparation. I want it to be meaningful, you know? Please, may we talk about all the best Netflix series on tonight's live stream. Thank you, Dad. You are welcome. I'll see what I can do. We'll make it a good one. Good. Lockbeard is fearless. I don't know about that, Mr. Lee. I think Brandy is knocked out for the night. Yeah, I do think she is. Well, he's fearless. I think he'd like to be, but like I say, and I do appreciate the spirit, you know what I mean? I think his heart's in the right place. I think he's pointed at some of the right stuff, you know what I mean? Some of it. But yeah, until you have some sort of groundbreaking realization about your true nature, you will not become truly fearless. You see what I'm saying? And actually, here's the weird thing. What you truly are is fearless, though. So what he really is fearless. It's just easy rooted there. And like I say, even though the heart might pick up in tempo and there's a sense of occasion that brings about some nerves or whatever with any sort of public speaking, I don't take myself to be the instrument, you know what I mean? So there is always that disassociation with all of those effects. I think that really helps me do this sort of thing, you know. Where's the Wi-Fi? Don't got one yet, Florida Claimers Ted, but I'm working on it. Am I working on it? I'm open to it. I'll say that. If the right chick manifests magically in my life, then I'm all for it. You know what I mean? We are living in strange times, though. I think it'll be more difficult than ever before to navigate rearing kids. Especially, I cringe at the prospect of putting them through the school system, to be honest, which is essentially sort of, I don't know, establishment brainwashing programming or campaign or whatever, you know. Oh, what'd you say? I did talk to Mogs on a StreamYard for over an hour. Live is different. Oh, yeah. I know you did, because you played a little bit of it, didn't he? And I did hear that, Mr. Lee. I did hear that. Well done. Yeah, that was one way of doing it. Live is... It's all in the mind, you know what I mean? But I think, honestly, it's primarily because we know there's a sort of official public record with such an event that we treat it differently. But I do have a wish to get over the hump with that and do... I might do a bunch of random lives and stuff again, just so it becomes inexpensive for me to do it, just so it feels like fun. I want it to feel blasé. I want it to be meaningful. But, I don't know, man. It's a tricky one. Well, what I mean is, some people say if you still don't get the butterflies, then give up, stop doing it, sort of thing. You know, you've done too much of it. Mr. Lee, are you still sworn to only go on a Moog show, by the way? Are you still sworn to only go on a Moog show? Give me the answer to that. Give me the answer to that. Because you're welcome to come up here now and talk to me if you want to. Hiveless, are you scared what are you saying? Are you scared you're getting old and you ain't got a bird yet? No, honestly, because... Honestly, brother, within me, the fully taken root is like the hero's motto or mantra or something. Like, you know the way all boys want to be a superhero sort of thing, right? I want to do what I can. I want to pick up whatever as much as I can and do good. I want to fight for the good. I want to be steered and guided to do good, whatever that looks like. I don't have any presumptions about what that would look like, but I'm up for it, you know what I mean? I'm up to be fucking utilized in that way. So yeah, kids or no kids, I'm gonna father others that, I mean, I know that sounds arrogant, I don't mean it like that, you know what I mean? I was able to conquer depression and shit like that. I can still share good stuff. Many people are suffering all sorts of maladies, so nah, I can still do good in the world, Mr. Lee, you know what I mean? I'll fucking father little people or big, tall people, you know what I mean, with beards or whatever, or tits. Or both, if I go to Bangkok with Point Fire. But either way, I will still be useful. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm on a higher mission, man. That's what I'm saying. Gotta go, you folks. Take care. Papa Craig, go and enjoy the fish pie. The fish and finger pie. Go and enjoy it. Don't forget the tartar sauce. Papa Craig. Messenger calls, awesome. Well, they are, yeah. They're essentially like live streams, but, you know, it's like Zoom. Like live streams. I think that probably helps you get over the hump as well. That's true. Actually, Mr. Lee, why don't you just at least get on a messenger call with me, Michael Brandy, and just get to chatting or whatever, you know what I mean? Hobbs jumped on one with us recently and we had a good time. I hope he jumps on another. But just come and chat to us. That'd be something. Florida Claim is Ted. Michael, I wonder if Brandy watched Tropic Thunder 2008 yet. Actually, I don't think I've ever watched either all of that film or that film at all. I might have just seen trailers, but I do want to watch it. Thanks for reminding me. I might consider, Mr. Lee. Would you consider it now? Because if you wanted to jump on now, brother, very casual, only for you would I allow it. You know what I'm saying? No one else be coming up, but for you, I would fucking allow it. Meditate on it. Let me know. Michael Hayward, we had a great talk with Hobbs. Hobbs is awesome. Hilarious also. Yes, he's very funny, man. And a very kind, sweet man. You know what I mean? What a good bloke. I am a warrior priestess. Exactly, and I conceive of myself a bit of a wizard, like I say. Definitely a bit of a wizard. Because I do believe in spelling, the power of words, the art of spelling, the art of spellcraft, you know, generating thought forms in the form of vibration, and putting them out into the world, imbued with the right intention, can have the power, especially when anchored in truth, to counter many of the dark spells out there. That's how I conceive of it. And, you know, in good faith, I sort of do it. You know what I mean? Whatever I'm saying to anyone ever. Some people think I'm completely mental, of course, talking like that. But the truth is they are asleep. Because that's a lot, you know, there's a whole... What do you say? There's a whole plane within which that's true, you know what I mean? It works like that. Hey, wars have started using words or lies, you know what I mean? So yeah, and of course the thing about the truth is it's so much more potent than all the lies that try and veil it, you know what I'm saying? Michael Hayward, Ted, I'm not sure if she has watched it yet. Oh, Brandy, as in watching the film Ted, is that what you're saying? Not now, girlfriend getting up soon, no worries. Mr. Lee, no worries. Alright, another time, I'd definitely be up for it. To be fair though, Mr. Lee, as well, you know what? I think Brandy and Michael's stream would be right up your street, wouldn't it? Actually. Yeah, maybe that's the way as well. You're welcome here, but yeah, I think a Brandy and Michael stream could be the way to go, right? Just saying. Flo declaims Ted, Hiveless, I would play Jack Black because I like those jelly beans in Tropic Thunder. Let me watch it and then I'll understand the reference. Florida Claimers Ted. Thank you. Oh, someone was saying something. Oh, sorry, Michael was speaking to you, Florida Claimers Ted, when he said Ted. Got ya. Sophia, I love to hear of that strength. Wizard. Sophia says wizard equates to magician in the tarot. Right. I mean, I don't know about sort of. You know, they say lesser magic. I think I know about lesser magic, and I think that is using words and things like that. I know some about sigils and things. I'm not into the occult, everybody. No. But the idea with sigils is that I did a bit of research on them once, that you imbue a sigil, a sort of image with power. And the way you do that is to basically get as many eyes to gaze upon it as possible. I suppose a good demonstration of that would be, and I don't know if you guys can see it, I can't see it, but on the YouTube live stream, see the Hiveless Bee emblem? You see that? The hexagonal shaped thing there with the bee? You could call that a sigil, you could. And the idea is that it's charged by people sort of bearing witness to it or whatever. There might be some sort of other forms of magic, like sex magic, where you charge the sigils in some other mad ways. I don't know. Like the pentagram, maybe that's what that's all about. You know what I mean? Wherein it comes to, they say it comes to hold within it a lot of power. You see what I mean? So again, I don't fully understand that side of things, although intuitively I can kind of wrap my head around the concept. But certainly the words we speak, the sentences we put out there, the meaning, the ideas that we share with one another, they have power. They have power to send people to sleep too. You know what I mean? Like you can put out sort of some stupid sentiments like, oh, lovely weather we're having, isn't it? I know. Oh, you wait for a bus and then 3 come at a time, don't I? Oh no. Oh, you didn't see that thing on the news the other day? Well, I was watching the BBC and they say blah, 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 blah. They're all spells, and they're all the sort of spells that most of society have fallen asleep because of. So everything you say are spells. Everything you come to believe is a form of hypnosis, and you have to check whether or not your beliefs are limiting or empowering. You know, you don't want to come to believe a bunch of crazy either, in the sense that you believe in things that are not so. So you have to check it out, you have to check it out as a form of experimentation and study of the self, you know what I mean? But anyway. Brandy has asked me, I will consider. Well, I can imagine, I just see it, Mr. Lee, that's the way to go, isn't it? And that actually you could even start a live stream with them. That might be a lot less daunting. Maybe. Michael Hayward says Hiveless did have a black goat for a pet. Well, yeah, but that wasn't for magic, Michael. That was for fun, if you know what I mean. Thank you, Hiveless. Have a cool day, peeps. What more TV? What more TV? I'm gonna take that as some sort of plug, Mr. Lee. Are you going, Mr. Lee, or what are you saying? Have I missed something there? If you are going, love you and see you in a bit. But if you're not, then stay and good. Right, fam, what do you want to talk about? You know you can steer this wherever you want to. Like I said, you can pick me up on anything that I was talking about. You can tell me about your deep experiences. You can tell me where you're at in the grand scheme of getting to the bottom of the riddle that is you. I don't know, man. You could tell me your blind spots. You could tell me that you just had a realization when I was telling you that, hey, all these sorts of normal thoughts, this normal reality, this heavy state, this heavy, solid conviction in a heavy, solid world is actually a spell. It's a hypnosis. Form is an illusion, and you are the nature of serenity itself. So if you think you're living in a boring world, or you've been abandoned by God, or you feel alone, or heavy, or angry, or sad, or woeful, or worrisome, all spells, all faulty convictions, you are already beyond all of that, you know? You have no form. There is no such thing as form. Form is a concept that exists only in the mind. There's no time either. Really. You ever notice that you require time in order to appreciate the three-dimensional qualities of form? Because you have to move around an object to appreciate its various aspects. There is no form there. It's all ones and zeros. It's all a simulation of sorts, and it's all mere appearance. And all appearances, therefore, must be of the same nature as that to which they appear. Namely, consciousness, or the observer, or the witness. You are the silent, serene witness. Is that too deep for you, fam? Okay then. Well, I'll play a bit of music then. Oh. True though. It is true. Who's saying this? Some people are saying this.
I don't wanna cry.
But I'll tell you, if you haven't realised it, then you know, come on, man. It's time. The world needs you to wake up. Don't believe the cult programming of society. You know what I'm saying? Right. What do you want to do, fam? You're going to sleep. Have I just accidentally hypnotised you to enlightenment? Good. Good. Well, let's see. Up to you, Michael. Up to you, Michael. But if you want to come on, you can. You don't have to. I'm quite happy. I really am. But if you wanted to, I can. Or you can. But for now, let me go and have... You want a bit of music, Seville, alright? Okay. High speed. I'll be back, fam. I'm gonna go and smoke a cigarette. Alright? Or a pipe. I don't have a pipe, but what's Joseph saying? Let me see. LOP. Type that out for me, brother, because I can't hear. I won't be able to hear your the way I've got it set up. I won't be able to hear your recorded messages. If you see what I'm saying, type it out to me, whatever you're saying. All right. We'll be here. All right. Well, I'm gonna go and smoke some tobacco. I'll be right back. Enjoy the tunes, fam. In a bit. Yo, fam. I'm back. Love it. Timeless speed. Yo, you know, one of the reasons I started doing live streams, by the way, is because I studied a lot last year into what the agenda was all about, you know, with the plague or whatever, and actually put together a PDF with all the information there, lots of pertinent videos and white papers on, you know, pandemic exercises and things like this from the past. Johns Hopkins Center for Disease Control, or whatever it's called, all that. And, you know, I've been into this sort of stuff for 20 years. I knew the sort of world order that they were trying to shape. And I don't know, man. I just felt like I wanted to become part of the conversation or something. I see a lot of evil trying to take over in the world, which is rubbishing everything that our forefathers and foremothers have strived so hard towards. You know what I mean? The sort of world that we might consider like an enlightened society. And one of the reasons why I started to put an onus on, well, all right, that's a separate thought. I was going to say one of the reasons that I started to put an onus on personal actualization or individual actualization, which is a bit of a sort of paradox, because there's no personal about it, because what you are is one with the absolute, actually. But if we don't do that, then we will not resonate with the sort of society that we would like to enjoy, if you see what I mean. We will perpetuate all of the norms and tendencies that would only resonate with the sort of society that we find ourselves within right now, if you see what I mean. So if that contingent, whatever percentile or percentage, whatever percentage it is, 20, 10, 30%, 5% of people genuinely interested in trying to bring that sort of reality about and get to the bottom of what's true, right? Then if they don't take on that task of solving the riddle that is them and then speaking from there, then I don't think we stand a chance, because I'm pretty black-pilled on the whole thing, if you see what I'm saying. So but my main thought was there, the reason I started live streaming was very much in that spirit that, have you ever been in a situation where you wish there was a sort of hero, or you wish there was someone that would come and save the day or intervene or do something, right? Like I once found myself in a scenario where there was a kid in town. I was quite young. I was about 17, 18, something. This kid was about 13 or 14, and anyway, he came to the bus stop I was at, complaining that these two lads, a black lad and a white lad, a short black lad and a tall white lad, had stole his phone. And he was saying, "Could someone help me, please? I need to get my phone back. They've taken my phone." And I suppose these kids were a bit older than both of us. They might have been a similar age to me, or even slightly younger, but you know, whatever. They were sort of rough-looking lads, and I started looking around to see if someone would intervene and help, and I was almost wanting someone to intervene and help. And as I looked at all of the passers-by deliberately ignoring this situation when they could clearly hear what was up, like they had their fingers in their ears or something, I suddenly realized that I was part of the equation of people. I was part of the contingent of people that weren't intervening. So all of a sudden I felt the responsibility fall on me to do it. And of course the reality is that you have to weigh these things up, don't you? And the risks and the pros and the cons in either case, you know what I mean? But I was not wise enough at that time to appreciate that. But I did have the spirit of wanting to do what was right, at least even then. And so I stood up and I walked over to these two lads and I said, "What's going on here? What's the problem? Or what's up?" And they instantly gave this kid his phone back, because all of a sudden you had a scenario where it was 2 on 2. There was 2 of us and 2 of them. But guess what? The kid who got, as soon as he got his phone back, fucked off and left me there. So the kid, me having equalised the situation and got him what he wanted, he left me to fucking drown. And anyway, one of the kids, the black kid, grabbed my bag that I had around me, you know, at the time, pulled me in, pulled a knife out and said, "You fucking messing with my business. You fucking messing with my business." And anyway, I pulled away, right? And then there was this bloke walking down the street. And I don't know how, but he sussed out the situation. He said, "Just walk with me. Walk with me, you'll be fine. Walk with me." Well, you know. And he ended up, this dude, like a fucking guardian angel, just walked me out of the situation all the way through town and to get on a bus at a different bus stop. And what was my point there? Look, I could get into who this dude might have been. It was a little bit awesome and magic. It was definitely like instant karma, something. Someone was smiling on me. But the point is, yeah, man, I very much got into live streaming in that spirit, you know. What do you call it? A wing and a prayer? Is that the expression? Something like that? Don't know, man. But one of the things I wanted to get over was my fear of public speaking, because I knew that if I could get over that, then I could sort of put out some positive, good stuff. You know what I mean? Because I've been through it, motherfuckers, and put myself back together, and I know how to do it. And it will take nothing less than getting truly deep and spiritual and having realizations and all of the above and everything that I'm always talking about. You know what I'm saying? So why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing this with you. I see you, Sophia. Bear with me a moment. I'm sharing this with you because I think if you want to sort of walk the righteous path, you have to be willing to become more powerful. If you look into the sort of Jungian psychology of the sort of shadow aspects of ourselves that are maybe repressed into our subconscious, they become the ghosts in our machine, you know, all that sort of stuff. Maybe they become a sort of, you know, a hidden demon in the way of our becoming successful or powerful. You know, it seems to be a common trait that, of course, you have all the sort of liars, cheats and scumbags very happy to capitalize on others and seek power and use their sort of abilities for themselves or for bad. It seems like the good folk never go all the way to unlock their hidden power, you know. So part of getting over the hump with all that sort of stuff, I'm just encouraging you all, you know, if you feel that you want the world to be a better place, you know, to what extent are you exclaiming that? To what extent have you built a platform to sort of do that? You see what I mean? So yeah, anyway, Sophia, what were you saying? You were saying no good deed goes unpunished. That's an interesting way of putting it, isn't it, Sophia? I like that. Interesting. And TG for the guardian angel. Yo, I know, right? Big up that dude. His name was Dave. He was 42 and he was from Quinton, and obviously that was when I was like whatever age, 17, 18. I might have been 16 though. Again, maybe I was 16 anyway. But yeah, he was and I tell you what, a weird thing though with that, while he walked me around town, he knew a bunch of the sort of down and outs and homeless people all the way around town. He just knew them. He himself wasn't homeless, but he knew who they were by name. And he was like, and everyone knew him. "You all right, Dave?" You know. I was like, "Fucking, who is this dude?" You know what I mean? Never forgot his name. No, Dave, 42, from Quinton. Awesome, my guardian angel. And I even went back to my nan and granddad's house that day, told them all about this thing, and they were very Christian, Catholic sort of thing. And on that next day, so I suppose that might have been a Saturday then, or on that weekend or something, I believe it was the next day though, was the something of St. Peter, right? The something of St. Peter at the church, because I actually went to church with them the next day, you know, inspired by this fucking thing. Anyway, I still do good deeds. Well, I don't do good deeds. You see, that's the part of the shift. Because interestingly enough, like you said, no good deed goes unpunished. Only if you take credit for them. Because when you realize there's no free will and you are an unfolding event, and by some grace do you ever do any good deeds, they are not your deeds. And as soon as you stop taking responsibility for your deeds, and I know that's counterintuitive to a lot of people that like to think themselves more conservative, that you ought to take responsibility for your actions and all that sort of stuff, that kind of mode of thinking. No, actually, it's not your karma if you don't misassociate with the mind-body complex. If you see what I mean, you don't have karma. You are already beyond cause and effect. You are that which is. Right? So, I don't do good deeds, but something does through me. And there's something about handing yourself back over, wherein through some form of alchemy, you are able to walk in such a way that you no longer do bad deeds, even if it looks that way to a moron. Even if it looks like you're doing something bad to a moron, you're not. Because someone else is in the driver's seat, you see what I'm saying? Like a natural authority will sort of take root in your heart and steer the ship, man. It's fucking awesome. It's the only way to fucking live, man. It's like living with your hands off the steering wheel and just enjoying the fucking show in good faith. And the best life will emerge then. And only then. You see what I mean? And don't we all want that? Don't we intuitively, when I pose it that way, when I frame it that way, don't we all sort of want that to be our reality? You know what I mean? It's just most people have never been offered that in those terms or in that way before. Very few people have even imagined that sort of approach to existence is even possible. You know what I'm saying? Deep stuff, fam. Well, this is all part of what I'm doing. I'm channeling truth, motherfuckers. You better do something good with it. Just saying. Sophia, right. I just am me, my divine. Well, actually, look, there's interestingly enough, there's something in Buddhism called self-generation, where you imagine yourself manifesting as the deity, like a divine deity, or a Buddha with superpowers to sort of heal all ills and suffering, let's say. And when you identify not with the ego complex, but with your true nature, the silent observer, or consciousness itself, right? Or the moment itself, whatever way you want to conceive of it, then actually there's something called divine pride. Did you know, Sophia, in the tantric... In Tantra, in Buddhism, divine pride, it's a very counterintuitive thing to hear when, from more of a sort of Christian point of view, we've been used to thinking of pride as necessarily bad. Well, apparently there's sort of sense of a pride that you can generate through being grounded in that way, or identifying yourself as the divine or the absolute, if you see what I'm saying. And if you actually look at Jesus, it looks like maybe he had sort of a bit of divine pride going on, if you see what I mean. So that's my interpretation of what you said there. But I don't know if that's what you meant, but that's the way I'm going to interpret it. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. But there's no ownership, really. You know, all that's an illusion. There's no owner or owned. You see? And yet there's a sort of appearance of a universe unfolding. How good for the appearance of a universe unfolding that we have to just have faith is divine in nature, and necessary for even reasons that are beyond our sort of limited understanding. But you can at least appreciate it with examples such as, you know, when you think something bad has happened in your life and then you realize it's the best thing that ever happened to you later down the line. Well, I think it's like that, but on a sort of, I loosely say universal scale, right? I think everything that happens has to happen and take place just as it does. It is deterministic. It is just algorithmic. It's an equation, you know. But it's the perfect training grounds for consciousness to transcend the illusion as well. Look, most people, again, a lot of people get confused when they're trying to conceive of what they really are. They think of a discrete object or something called a soul that has a measurement. You don't have a measurement. You are literally pure awareness, awareness itself. There's nothing other than that in existence. In fact, everything is made of pure awareness. It's more like that. And everything is essentially already serene. You can almost say pain and suffering's ultimate nature is bliss, you could almost say. All there is bliss. All there is tranquility. It's just most of us believe that that's not the case, because we're hypnotized by the mural on the wall of heaven. We're hypnotized by the fucking mural, by the TV screen. We're hypnotized by what's on the screen of the mind, you know? Anyway, just having a bit of fun, fam. Channeling some wisdom. Why the fuck not? I think the world needs more of it, you know what I mean? I'm not hearing enough of this sort of stuff. To be fair, you know, David Bruce and a few of them put me onto Matt from Quantum of Consciousness. He's saying this sort of stuff, actually, in his own way. And then you've got Jesse Lee Peterson saying very similar stuff in his own way. You've got, obviously, the Buddhist teachings sort of seem to lay this same stuff out. Advaita Vedanta, self-inquiry, again, Vedic sort of Indian wisdom. Sikhism seems to appreciate all of this, you know what I mean? Our absolute true nature. Everything is divine consciousness, Sophia, exactly. Very Sikh, very Hindu, very Vedic, Buddhistic. Yeah, I just think the Abrahamic traditions are prescriptive, like a set of instructions and dogmatic beliefs. And even, but if you take Jesus as it's a tricky one, but if you take Jesus as maybe an ordinary dude who was speaking, I don't know if I'd say that was channeling some good fucking stuff, because he'd had some realizations, you know what I mean, in his lost years. It's a completely different read of Christianity, yeah, and it means that we're all capable of the same sort of feats as him, and I'm pretty sure that's a line in the fucking book anyway. You know what I mean? I've watched Matt for years. Oh, have you? Well, there you go then. Well, he's right on the money with that sort of stuff that he lays out, yeah. He's awesome. Michael Hayward, Sophia, I would love to hear how you have reached your place of strength. Actually, yeah, I'd be quite curious to hear how you got to understand this sort of stuff, Sophia. Absolutely. You seem to be pretty deep. What time is it? It's 6:05 in the UK, would you believe? That's insane. What are we doing, fam? Well, we're hanging out, aren't we? Love those fractals and stuff. I think they're fucking awesome. Time's it in the States now? It's like 1 p.m. East, 1 a.m. Eastern, right? What's your sleep like, Michael, by the way? Oh, let me see if LOP got back in touch with me. What did he say? No, he didn't. I don't think he heard what I said to him. Anyway. Well, it's been a good one, hasn't it? Low turnout. I didn't know what the turnout would be for us sort of doing a stream at this time on a what is it, Wednesday night, because I ain't done one for ages like that. Sophia, what are you saying? You are saying 106 Eastern, Michael. Thank you. Sophia, lots of study and inner work and opening my mind and attuning myself to the eternal. Yeah, man. That's our true identity, and the only way to The only real truth worth knowing, or I should say the primary truth worth knowing, is that I don't think you got like different, followers of different traditions and religions and stuff like that. They still conceive of themselves as a sort of ego who follows that tradition or something. You know what I mean? It's the ego always seems to escape. There's always seems to be an escape hatch for the ego in lots of these sorts of religions and things. And most people, I'm telling you, man, most people have never even began to conceive of or I should say approach getting even close to catching a glimpse of what they really are. You know what I'm saying? They don't realize which bit of their experience that they are. They've never really sat with the prospect of, well, if there seems to be an experience being had, by what is it being had? By what is it being had? Is it by the human mind? Is it some sort of feedback loop where there's the sort of a temporary consciousness appearing, like apparent moments of consciousness? Well, no, because there is no world of form. There's only experience and an experiencer, and you have to become curious about what are the qualities of the experiencer. And most people don't even, I don't know, they can't sit quietly enough because they're immersed in their Grand Theft Auto computer game world. You know what I mean? They're too busy doing whatever the fuck they're doing in their computer game world to even give a shit about it. Yeah, but I'm just gonna keep saying this sort of stuff, man. It will fucking take root eventually because it is the truth, man. If someone asked me what am I now, I wouldn't say human. I'd say there's no such thing as a human. I would say I am that which is. I am divine. I am tranquility itself. I am pure awareness. I am eternal, deathless, formless, beyond. That's what I would say to them. And if that is not the description of yourself when asked, then you have mistaken yourself to be a projection. Because everyone else did and does. So you're just following the crowd, aren't you? Aren't you? Well, stop it. Stop it. Anyway. Right, should I wrap it up or something? It's been a quiet one tonight. Yes, keep speaking and teaching about it. Right, Aunt Sophia. Right, yeah, well, I will always. And I'm going to put more of an onus on that sort of stuff. Because, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to get into debates about that sort of stuff. Anyone could jump up. In future ones, I might get people up to sort of jump on and debate shit with me about that. Just getting some mad, crazy, fiery debates about it, you know what I mean? What else? Yeah. There's a few things I want to do. And I tell you, there's knowing about it in theory and there's actually doing it. You know what I mean? Only if you've sort of done it or had the realizations or sort of had the shift in perspective or identity. I'm not saying I'm all the way there in that way, you know what I mean? Although what I really am is already, you see? There's a sort of trick, and you've got to be careful of a limiting belief that would have you be too humble about it, you know what I'm saying? All these self-flagellating Buddhist fucking monks and nuns missing the point. Sometimes, not always. Yeah, man. What we saying, fam? It's a little quiet, isn't it? And I've pretty much laid out everything that I care to for now, unless something magic happens and we suddenly have a pile-on of about like 10 more people talking about cool stuff. Then I might go. Yes, stay bold. Stay bold. Or how'd you become bold? Yeah. Shave your head. get bolder, I say. Get even more bold, get even more powerful, you know what I mean? Wouldn't you wish that all the people that have their heart aimed in the right direction would become empowered? Well, we need to start becoming warriors with that shit, you know what I'm saying? That's, like I said, that's all part of me doing live streams, getting over the hump of public speaking and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, man. I need to do more. There's a lot more I could do. In fact, I didn't even share this thought, but one of the main things going on in my world at the moment, other than randomly wasting time watching Netflix series, although I shouldn't say wasting time because it's most enjoyable, and you know, I deserve a little bit of a chill in a way after the year I've had. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. But career, man, my career, I'm starting to think far more about my career. It's the one aspect of my life that is, there's a major detriment in, or sort of just lack of development in my sort of career, in the career aspect of my world. So I'm seriously thinking about figuring out what I'm doing for a career and stuff. I'm thinking all sorts of things, building audio assets for computer games, voiceover work, sound design, graphic design. There's good jobs out there, but I need to put together portfolios, show reels, and etc. So I'm very much currently working behind the scenes on getting all that side of things together. So and especially because I'd like, you know, if I know the ball's rolling in that domain, which it currently isn't, it's sort of stagnant at the moment, that part of my world or part of my life, then I can feel to do more of this sort of stuff, you know what I mean? If I know I got the ball rolling with that sort of stuff, then I can sort of feel available to do this sort of stuff. But yeah. I was just glad to hang out with all of you. Well, Michael, it was a random one, wasn't it, mate? Hey, I don't know if you told me how far you got into the Stranger Things fourth season. How far did you get in the end, mate? I missed it. Warriors for Truth, exactly, Sophia. Yeah. Like I say, there's lots of them out there, but then there's somewhere. Look, if you call yourself a truther and all you proclaim is that Klaus Schwab is an arsehole, right? Or the New World Order, once world government and all this sort of stuff, that's about as far as you got with the sort of truth side of the equation. You know, not truth, you know what I mean? Real truth is to do with our true nature, yeah. So there's a higher place to get to than merely that, and I think it's essential. I'm starting to understand the look, the war that's going to have to be waged in this sort of domain, good versus evil, or whatever you want to call it, or their idea or plans, or the psychopath's plans or designs for a society in the way it should look, making it in their image, versus a sort of truly enlightened society. There's only one way the enlightened society is going to emerge, and it's if on an individual basis we have come back to truth in ourselves and come to sort of have all the perspective shifts necessary to counter the spells and the programming and wake people the fuck up, right? Sophia, yes, Michael, it's been fun. Good. Season 4, episode 4. All right then, Michael. Well, Michael has 5 more or 5.5 more awesome episodes to watch or something of the last season. Should we get back to it, Michael? Because I've gone back again and I'm on, well, I can't even remember where I was at. I think I was on season 2, episode 4. I think that's where I've got to, I seem to think. Watching it again. Alright, well, hope everyone's enjoyed it. Hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you got some benefit from it. Might do some more random lives. Probably not this weekend, or this will probably be it for this week. Maybe until Sunday. I don't know, depending on how I feel. Hopefully a Babble Box next Wednesday, I'm thinking. But we'll see. We will see. So, have a good weekend, fam. Alright? Have a good weekend. Have a good night. Thanks for turning up, y'all that did. and I'll catch you on the other side. How about that? Yeah? Alright, I'll play out with this tune. Thanks, B. Enjoyed it. Thank you. Awesome. Well, I enjoyed it too. Have a good one.